today's fast paced world, data analytics and cutting edge technology are transforming industries. And commercial vehicle sector is no exception. From optimizing fleet management to enhancing vehicle performance and safety, the integration of AI and advanced analytics is driving unprecedented value for businesses and customers alike. These innovations are not just reshaping the way commercial vehicles operate, but they are also redefining the future of mobility. At the heart of this transformation is Ford, a global leader in automotive innovation. Hi, I'm Deepthi Ahuja, Content Head of HT Smartcast, and this is Mint Techcetera, your go-to podcast for everything tech and business. In this episode, I'll be delving into how Ford Business Solutions India is spearheading the charge, working on breakthrough projects in data analytics and technology to revolutionize the commercial vehicle space. Joining me in this conversation is an executive data product leader who has been driving innovations in commercial vehicle sector through data and technology. Mr. Venky, as he likes to call himself, Mr. Venky Srinivasan, the head of data and analytics, Ford Pro. With over 25 years of experience in data engineering, cloud computing, and AI, Venky Srinivasan spearheads a global team delivering value via a modern, real-time federated data platform. Under his leadership, Ford Pro Tech India in Chennai has grown to over 300 professionals supporting Ford's global technology needs. A business transformation expert, Srinivasan is committed to fostering empowered teams and advancing the future of data-driven solutions. Join us as we explore the exciting world of tech, its global implications, and the unique role FBS India plays in shaping the future. Welcome to Mint Techcetera, Venky. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for the kind introduction, Deepthi.
Oh, well, the amount of work that you have done, I'm actually very curious to know more about it. I'd really like to know, in your words, what Ford Pro does and what's your role and what do these 300 employees do?
Sure, thank you. So I think Ford Pro is a global business that was set up in 2021, primarily to cater to the B2B customers. So if you think of auto, right, generally we think of individuals who buy cars, but there's a huge segment of businesses that need vehicles. It could be rental car companies, companies like Amazon and so on. So it's a $60 billion business, and it was set up in 2021. And we generally offer 5 products for customers: vehicles, software, charging, services, and financing and leasing. So not just vehicles, but we offer the entire solutions to our customers.
Awesome, awesome. Uh, Now, data analytics has obviously become a cornerstone of innovation in the commercial vehicle industry. I mean, there was a time when it was all about, automotive design, product design, all of those things. But at this point of time, data analytics is what is growing the economy. With connected vehicle systems generating over 25 GB of data per hour, analytics helps optimize routes, predict maintenance, and improve fuel efficiency. Can you elaborate on how Ford Pro leverages this data to deliver value to its customers globally?
Great question, Deepthi. Kind of to answer this question, I think it's important to understand our customers, right? And our customers are fleet managers. And what are their key problems? I think they are interested to know, where is my fleet at any given point in time? How is my driver driving the vehicle? They have large fleets, so they want to make sure that none of the vehicles go down. So they are proactive about the maintenance, right? They want to make sure that the fleets are not misused or wrongly used. And a lot of these companies have sustainability goals. So they want to make sure that where are they on the charging journey? What's the optimum portfolio mix between gas vehicles and electric vehicles? So to solve all these problems and these questions, we offer what is called as Ford Pro Intelligence. It's a Ford telematics software that enables our fleet managers to use the power of data, connected vehicle data, data outside the vehicle, inside the vehicle, data about our vehicles, so that they see all of this in one single view, so that they know at any point in time where my vehicles are, how is my driver driving the vehicle, which vehicle is due for service, amongst my 100 vehicles, how many vehicles should I move to electric, for example, and the ability to prevent misuse of the vehicle. So actually data powers, sitting in my office as a fleet manager, I can control my fleet. And that's the power that we bring through Ford Pro Intelligence, which is powered by data.
Right.
Hopefully that helps you get an answer.
Yeah, of course it does. I mean, it at least helps set the context, right? AI is transforming fleet management, like you rightly said, from automating diagnostics to ensuring safety compliances. For instance, fleet telematics solutions reduces unplanned maintenance costs by up to 30%. I'd really like to know what that means exactly in layman terms, because there are a lot of people who wouldn't understand. Also, could you share some specific use cases where AI has significantly enhanced the commercial vehicle businesses?
Yeah, AI, as you know, Deepthi, is the in thing. Everyone talks about AI.
Correct.
At Ford, at Ford, we are also very keen on responsible AI because the auto industry is fairly regulated. So it's important that we don't get carried away with the technology, but we put it to use in the right use cases. So I'll give a couple of examples and then we can probably chat a bit more about that. I think I'll probably give you a use case that resonates with a lot of our customers and listeners. Like when people bring their vehicles to the dealership for service, right? They want to make sure that the dealer technician has diagnosed the vehicle properly. They know what are the real issues in the vehicle, and they are comfortable that they will not be overpriced or overcharged for these services, right? So we have a process in a few markets where the dealer agent or the technician actually video records the vehicle as it goes through the diagnostics, and the video gets uploaded to a website where we have a bunch of humans who are looking at these videos to make sure that the dealer technician has diagnosed the vehicle right. And then we provide some points as well for the quality of the diagnosis. And the customer also gets to see the video. Now, all of this process is very manual, right? If a dealership gets 100 vehicles for service in a day, we can only do this for 5 vehicles because it's very expensive. This is where generative AI comes in. So the same process, the video gets uploaded. We use generative AI to transcribe, summarize, and also apply the rules to rate the quality of the diagnosis and then post the points back. So in a way, we can do this for all the vehicles, not just 5 vehicles as we used to do it before. So that's an example of how AI really helps simplify and make the entire process more transparent, but also more productive for our dealers and customers. So that's one example. I have quite a few other examples as well, but I'll probably pause there and see if you have any follow-up questions.
Sure, absolutely. So basically, it's like basic AI functionality, right? Brute force learning and pattern recognition, and that's how you understand what could go wrong with other vehicles as well. Correct?
Correct. Then in this case, it's also about building trust and loyalty
Yes.
with our customers so that they feel comfortable that the dealer has done the right diagnosis and there is confidence that I can go back to the dealer again.
On continuing from your point of building trust, Ford Pro Team India plays a critical role in global operations, right, with projects like real-time data platforms and advanced telematics. Can you shed some light on the specific initiatives the FPS India team is driving in the commercial vehicle tech space, Venky?
Sure. We are actually 3 years old in India. The business is actually 3 years old, and we established the tech organization sometime in early 2022.
Right.
I would like to call out 5 key initiatives that we do a bunch of things. Number one, because India is big on data and AI, we have teams in India which are working on the customer data platform and building a platform that helps us uniquely identify every customer of Ford Pro across various channels. So somebody could be buying a vehicle through the sales channel, service channel, etc. This space is a bit complex, Deepthi, because a fleet, at the time of purchase, we may be engaging with the purchase manager. At the time of delivery, we may be engaged with the fleet manager. At the time of service, the driver may bring the vehicle for service. So it's important to kind of understand the various personas within a customer and create a customer data platform. And that complex work is managed out of the teams in India. That's one piece of work. The other piece of work that we do from India is with fleet customers. They buy a lot of vehicles, right? We need to have the right level of incentives based on their past history as well as their future potential. And they also buy a lot of parts once they buy the vehicles. And so we need to make sure that we reward them so that they stay loyal. So the incentive algorithms and the establishment of the loyalty platform to take care of the needs of these customers is also led and managed by the teams globally from India. So that's a second example.
Yeah.
The third thing that I would like to highlight for you is when customers buy their vehicles, right? With B2B customers, we want them to make use of the software subscriptions that we provide so that sitting in their offices, they can monitor their fleet. As I told you right at the beginning, they can use this to monitor where their vehicle is, which vehicle is due for service, etc. So there's a process to onboard the vehicles and these customers so that they can come to our marketplace and they can enroll their vehicles and they can also go through the monthly subscriptions, the billing, the payments, etc. So that work also happens out of India. The other one that I would like to highlight is we are big on Salesforce as a CRM platform. So we use Salesforce for our sales people, for our field service agents, as well as for all the marketing activities. So the implementation of the Salesforce CRM suite has a significant talent base in India, and we use that to deploy our Salesforce solutions for our North American and European customers. So if you think of the examples that I quoted, it's really touching the end customer. Though we are based in India and our customers are based in North America and Europe, a lot of the work that we do is really directly impacting the lives of our customers.
Truly global.
Truly global, yeah.
With industry trends like predictive analytics and IoT reshaping the field, how does your company ensure its data analytics capabilities remain ahead of the curve? Of course, it's one thing to serve the customers in the here and now, but it's another thing to prep for it in the future so that you build a legacy.
Yeah, it's actually a very difficult question, to be honest, because I was watching the Microsoft Ignite conference in Chicago last week, and there was someone, a very renowned expert, who said even for him, it was difficult to keep up with the pace of AI and the changes that are coming. So if they are struggling, you can imagine what's happening to the rest of us. So coming back to your question, right? What we do at Ford really well, Deepti, is I'll probably frame it in four contests. Number one, we really make a lot of investments in new generation tools, and we try and democratize these tools so that a bulk of our employees can make use of it. So, for example, we opened out our LLM platform, whether it's OpenAI, Gemini, Meta. These platforms are available for all our employees globally. So we have 150,000 employees globally. All of them have access to these models. And then our developers and software engineers also have access to all the APIs of these platforms so that when they build apps on top of the business workflows, they are able to integrate their apps using these APIs with these foundational LLM models. So that's one. So really providing our teams the power of these tools early on, so that they can experiment and learn from it. The second thing that I would like to highlight in terms of upskilling our teams is really encouraging people to constantly upgrade themselves. So we offer certifications on the key technologies that we work on. One thing I should probably highlight here is Ford has a strategic partnership with Google Cloud Platform. So we encourage all our employees to strive for certification, depending on the role. So if you're a data engineer, you could do Google Data Engineering certification and so on. We send them to conferences. We get them to kind of participate and present in these conferences and so on. So that's the second way that we try and upskill teams. The third thing is we have a huge community of people that are naturally interested in all these things. So we conduct AI and machine learning conferences within food. So we invite people from OpenAI, Google, and other companies to come and talk to us about what are they working on, where do they see this going, and we have internal teams that kind of present papers in these conferences, set up innovation stalls, provide their ideas. But some of these ideas actually are taken into production as well. And then finally, we have a separate team that's called the AI Advancement Center that really focuses on what is coming in the next 3 years, 2 to 3 years. So they actually work very strategically with their research arm of various companies. They try and look forward so that they know what's trending, what do we need to bring within food so that we are not catching up, but we are very proactive around this. So these are some examples of what we do within food to make sure that we are constantly keeping pace with what's going on, because it's pretty crazy right now.
That it is. And just to add to that, the global commercial vehicle telematics market seems to be, is projected to grow at the CAGR of 15% through 2030, driven by advancements in IoT, big data. What's your vision for the future of technology? These are things that you're doing, to keep abreast with what's already happening and to plan for the immediate future. But what about, a distant sort of a future when it comes to technology in global fleet management?
Sure. So I think, remember when I talked about the problems that we are trying to solve for our fleet managers, I talked about the power of Ford Pro Intelligence.
Yes.
What we want our fleet managers to do, Deepthi, is really focus on their business. They should worry less about the vehicles in their fleet, because the more they spend time on the vehicles and what's going on, the less time they have for their business. So one of the things that we have a very strong vision at Ford Pro is to make sure that we are able to use the power of tech and data and AI to enable our fleet managers to have a very hassle-free experience around managing their fleet. So right now, we have roughly around 630,000 subscriptions, software subscriptions of this product that we just talked about. And we are starting to see customers sharing their testimonials of how it's making a huge difference. But honestly, we have only scratched the surface.
Yeah.
There's a huge potential. And we do this for not just Ford vehicles, Deepthi, we also do it for non-Ford vehicles. So for example, if I go to a fleet customer, they're not only buying my cars, they're buying cars from GM, they're buying cars from other companies as well. So when they're looking for a solution, they're not looking for a Ford solution, a GM solution, and different types of vendors, because it's very difficult for them to manage all that. So our solution actually can seamlessly integrate with non-Ford vehicles as well. And that's where we believe we have a unique value proposition to offer to ensure that our fleet managers truly feel the value of spending less time managing the fleet and more time managing their business. And that's our vision. How do we get our fleet managers to leverage the power of technology, data, and AI so that they can drive efficiency, productivity, and safety within their businesses?
Makes sense. India has always been known for being a talent hub when it comes to tech, right? But it is also now emerging as a tech powerhouse for global automotive solutions. How do you foresee innovations developed at FBS India in a manner that, this brain that you're building, the network of brains that you are building, the human brain, there is no bleed there. There is no brain drain.
Yeah, it's a great question, Deepthi. Like one of the unique aspects of what we do in ProTech in India is we actually look at India as a talent center, not as a low-cost center. Because we are a global business, it's very easy to say, can we do these kinds of work in India because talent is affordable or cheaper. But our CTO had a very different vision for India, which is, whether you talk of data, whether you talk of AI, whether you talk of software, if you want to build teams at scale with quality, you have to tap into the skills in India because that is huge scale. And we have a very unique process in how we bring people into our teams. So, because we believe that if you bring the right talent, then the ability to drive innovation for the globe is extremely possible. So, one of the things that we are investing a bit more in the coming years is data and AI. Like if you look at our global population of data and AI talent, more than 50% of that talent is now based in India.
Correct.
So yeah, because I think it's pretty natural. And for us, the advantage, Deepti, is we have a lot of business processes also being managed out of India. It's not just tech. So if you think of marketing, if you think of purchasing, supply chain, manufacturing, engineering, and so on, the business is also based in India and they are serving the globe. So when you think of data analytics, it's not just about technology, right? You need to understand the business.
Correct.
You need to have the ability to translate your tech backgrounds to add value to the business. And so I think with data and AI, we have a very strong belief that that is significant room for growth and a significant opportunity to be a game changer. The other thing also is that we are focused on in India right now is the cloud skills, right? We talked about Ford standardizing on Google Cloud Platform, right? If you kind of look at where the cloud journey is, the amount of talent that you can get on Google Cloud is starting to grow. And again, the question of scale, right? If you want to scale full stack software engineers and build innovative software products, then there's no place better than India to get that talent. So I think we are very excited. In fact, as I told you early on, in the last couple of years, we have grown by more than 100%. Right? We've actually grown by roughly around 2.5 times in the last 2 years in India. And the base has gone up, so we expect the growth to slow down a bit, but the potential to grow is huge. And so that's what keeps me very excited, bringing the right talent, driving the innovation, and delivering the value. That is very important.
Talking about the right talent, Venky, what kind of roles are you actually hiring for actively, in this space, particularly when it comes to data engineering, AI, all of these things?
Yeah, sure. I think we keep it simple, Deepti, because our tech stack is pretty simple. We are on Google Cloud, so we build and deploy apps on Google Cloud. I'm talking about Ford Pro and Pro Tech organization. Right. We don't have a lot of, we don't have legacy mainframe on-prem solutions. So what we build is on the cloud. That's number one. So cloud skills. And second is CRM. I talked about Salesforce. So we do implement CRM platforms. So I think if you look at the roles that we hire, we look for 5 kinds of roles in our organization. First, we look for full stack engineers, people who have the ability to be good at the front end as well as at the back. We also look for full stack data engineers. We've been hiring a lot of AI engineers in the recent past. We also look for BI developers. We still do traditional BI work, so we have a lot of BI developers as well. And finally, we look for product managers. I think our product managers are pretty aligned to what you would see in typical startups. Our product managers have a lot more business and product sense. They're not just managing a backlog. They're actually representing the user. They're doing active user research. They're understanding the business and so on. So these are the 5 key roles that we look for when we look to grow the teams in India.
Right. And Venky, what are some of the key qualifications also? I mean, of course, you've broadly defined what are the 5 different spaces in which you're looking to hire employees. But what are some of the key qualifications that they must have, or the expertise that they must have, apart from, the obvious? And I'm talking about both, technical skills and soft skills.
Sure. I think on the technical skills, if you're a software engineer, Deepti, we really want you to be full stack. Yeah. And particularly on the front end, we want you to be really good in React. React is our tool for building front-end applications.
Great.
And you should be really good in building APIs. So we have a process where we use pair programming as part of our interview process. We just don't ask you questions and evaluate you. We also sit with you and see how you code. And in fact, in that process, we also evaluate your soft skills. So, for example, if I am interviewing you as an example, Deepthi, I would actually give you a story to code. You would write a few lines of code. I would actually then take over and I would write my code. I would actually deliberately make some mistakes
Right.
in my code. And I would evaluate, are you able to find out those mistakes? Are you asking me good questions? Are you telling me I'm wrong? Right? If you're not telling me I'm wrong, then that's not the type of soft skill that we want, right?
Yeah.
So I think we have a process. It takes a lot of time to hire one person,
Right.
but it makes a lot of sense for us because we are able to find the right people to hire. So it's the ability to be really good in software engineering, but also be really good in collaboration, active listening, willing to push back, understanding the business. That's very important. Another thing that I would say, Deepthi, I'm not sure if this is pretty common in the industry, is we do something called dynamic allocation and frequent pivoting. So what that means is at Ford Pro, when we put engineers on a team, we don't tell them you're going to work on this for the next 2 years.
Right.
Because we hire people with good core engineering skills. If a product is delivering value, they will continue to work on that product. But if we believe that the product's value or product market fit is not there, we want engineers to be ready to pivot to something else. And so we follow this process of frequent pivoting, and then we dynamically allocate them. So for example, I may be working on a marketing project as a full stack engineer, but then my next project could be a backend platform. So we want engineers to be open to the idea of frequent pivots and dynamic allocation, which means they need to have an open mind to shift. And that's something we observe as part of our pair programming interview process as well. I think those are some things that I can kind of share with you in terms of our evaluation.
So I'm curious, you're saying that you also want, engineers to pivot quickly, but how do you ensure clarity? I'm guessing you have very solid systems in place.
As I said, we are 3 years old, so we are building a lot of new
Of
applications,
course. But,
and so
yeah.
And so that's why when we interview people, we make it very clear that you have to be willing to work in an open and agile environment where value will drive what we work on, right? We're not going to be working on projects just because we are put in sunk cost. It's important that engineers are focused on delivering value. And sometimes the market may not be ready for that product. So we may have to hibernate it, wait for the right time, but the engineers should be willing to move on to something else. And it's not just for engineers, Deepthi, it's also for product managers as well. So the clarity comes from clear expectations upfront during the interview process. The clarity also comes from frequent leadership reviews where engineers know what are they really looking for? Do I have the right outcome metrics? Do I have the right leading metrics? Am I able to deliver the value that I committed to?
Yeah.
And so I think it drives a lot of purpose as well for engineers because they're not just writing code. They're actually focused on, am I doing something that's impacting the business?
Interesting. Thank you for being so candid, Venky. It was lovely chatting with you.
Thank you, Deepthi. I think your questions actually made me think. I think I'm very passionate about talent in India,
Yeah.
and I'm very passionate about the future of India,
Right.
as you can see from my responses.
Absolutely.
And I'm also very passionate about Ford. I've been at Ford for 24 years. So there is a lot of great things that we are doing at Ford.
Yeah.
And thank you for your time.
Thank you too. And that's it on this episode. I'm Deepthi Ahuja, your host on Mint Techcetera, signing off. Stay tuned for more conversations on technology driving change.